Given all the atrocities committed by the tongue and by the hands online and offline, what are strategies to protect our emotional and spiritual health? Let's end on a positive note.
Yeah, there's some very, very, kind of specific advice that needs to be understood in a greater context. Otherwise, it can be misunderstood, okay, and even misapplied. Um, we talked about a lot of the things. Keep reading the Quran,
Sira.
keep making dua, keep praying, keep reading and studying the seerah, reviewing the seerah. Very good. Okay, all of these things we talked about. This part's a little bit hard to hear. It's especially hard to hear when how destructive and evil and terrible what's going on is, how nonstop it is, how relentless they are, the oppressors. Um, it's hard to hear this, but the Prophet ﷺ did teach us sa'atan fasa'atan, okay, which basically means there's a time and a place for everything. There's a time and a place for everything. And what that means is if you don't sleep, you won't be any good to anyone after about 24 to 36 hours, right? So imagine that there's so much work to be done at Qalam, right? Good work, right? Good place, mashallah, knowledge, blah, blah. There's so much work to be done, which is the reality, okay? That's why I look like this, right? So there's so much work to be done that it's like I can't go home. I can't go home. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I can't. I got to finish all this. And I go, okay, first 6 hours, okay. Next 6 hours, the 6 hours after that, the 6 hours after that is just pure delirium. I don't know where I am. I don't know what day of the week it is. I don't know what my name is. I don't know anything anymore. I am so useless and I'm probably committing such critical errors. Like imagine me doing accounting work in hour number 25. I'm actually now harming the institution, not helping. I'm harming, not benefiting. So that's why it's very, very important to understand time, place, situation, schedule, and initially there's a little bit of guilt that comes up that you're telling me to when I'm saying it, and I'm not saying it in those words because these words sound really just it sounds frivolous. And that is what I'm saying is basically take a break. Take a break. But when I say take a break, that sounds like so like it sounds silly. Like take a break. What is this? A basketball game? Take a break? What are you talking about? Take a timeout? It's not a basketball game. Lives are at stake, right? The ummah. And I get that. That's why I'm not calling it to take a break. What I'm calling it is put your best foot forward. The Prophet, ﷺ, that's what he told the Sahaba when they were like, we're never going to sleep at night. We're going to pray all night. The Prophet ﷺ said, no, go home, go to sleep, then wake up an hour before Fajr and then give it all you got. Because 100% of you for 1 hour is better than 20% of you for 6 hours. I know the math doesn't kind of add up there. That's more, but it's not as effective. Yeah, 5 hours. We'll say 5 hours. But actually, it's not even, it could be 10 hours at 20%. Why? Because at 20%, some things require a certain level of intensity and speed and generation of power, right? Like something, if you are moving at a certain pace, the rotations are at a certain point, like you won't generate enough heat or power to be able to do what needs to be done. Even if you keep it rotating forever and ever and ever at a slow rate, you'll never generate enough. You need, like sometimes high speed, high power. And the Prophet ﷺ was talking about high power work, right? Quality over quantity, quality over quantity, right? And so that's something that we really have to kind of take into consideration. So sa'atan fa sa'atan. There's a time and a place and a situation for everything. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for everybody.